Good evening, everyone. Rachel, thank you so much for the gift subs. Silent Chills and Shy Potato, enjoy those subs. Enjoy the emotes. Thank you so much. Kevin. Effin' Kevin. Thank you so much for the 22 months. Just curious, it's been a while. Any excitement for Super Mario RPG Remake? You know, I liked Super Mario RPG when it came out, and I definitely, at that point in my childhood, I played a lot of Final Fantasy and a lot of RPGs, and it's one of those ones that I enjoyed a lot, but I never really went back and replayed a whole lot. So I haven't really been following the remake. I hear it's supposed to be pretty good, I think. Not something I follow very closely. Dave? What's up, Dave? Thank you so much for the 46 months, man. Please take this in your time of need. Very much appreciate it. This is definitely a time of need. But yeah, thank you so much for the support. We've got a lot to go over today. Sorry if I sound a little bit out of it. Again, I'm dealing with some health issues, so today's one of those days where it's hitting me kind of especially hard. So I really feel like shit, but we're gonna make it through. We're still gonna talk about Ascension today. We're still gonna watch the new episode. We should have a pre-show and post-show with the devs to watch as well. We have some important stuff to talk about regarding Ascension. So let's start getting into what's going on. Let me catch up with chat a little bit more here, I guess, before we switch over. What's up, PogChamp? Hey, Little Nightmare. Little Nightmare. Lordy Lord Ransky, yeah, I caught up on the messages. I've been following the Reddit poster who's been dumping a lot of Ascension's files. Things are getting data mined, so we know that there's another premium season pass that they plan on releasing at some point. We've seen a lot of the stickers and assets, things for future minigames, how they categorize all of the scenes and things like that. So there's a ton of stuff that's been data mined. A passier season pass? Yes. There's an even passier season pass in the files. So there's been a ton of stuff data mined. We're going to talk a little bit about that. Yesterday, during the live episode, they showed the wrong branch. The community voted for Rachel to tell her daughter Faith a story, one of the Foundation, the cult's stories. And I was so distracted by the horrible UI and everything else going on that when it happened, I didn't even realize live that the wrong scene played out, because it said that the community choice was for Rachel to read her daughter Faith a story, and instead she lied to Faith and said they were having a sleepover, which was one of the other options that didn't win, and they showed that branch anyway. Immediately after the live, they for the recap, they showed the correct branch of her telling the story. So there's some stuff to talk about with that. Let's just get into it. Let's just come over here. Here's the app for the day. You can see I've got 17,000 points. I did not buy any point packs. On Twitter, Jacob Navok put out a notice that a lot of people were spending points and the the things that they were spending points on were not sticking. It was not accounting for people's votes and decisions and purchases using points. So they refunded a bunch of people's points and then also gave people a bonus for all of the glitchiness. So if you're curious why there's suddenly 17,000 points there, don't worry. I didn't spend any more of Yami's money. I'm not putting any of my own money into this regardless, but I didn't spend any more of Yami's money either. That is why those points are there. They refunded a bunch and they gave a bunch extra on top. So let's talk about the scene. Let's talk about yesterday's incorrect scene. Let me pause the music and pull up the VOD from yesterday's stream. Give me a moment to pull that up. It is literally shut up me from yesterday. Yeah, here we go. That should pretty much be it. Oops, not live, Eduardo. Sorry, wrong window. We'll get our live Eduardo reactions hopefully for the pre and post show today. But here, this is the VOD from yesterday's stream. So this is what was shown live yesterday. Is this a pay to win game? No, it's pay to lose. It's going to be a little bit weird because my commentary yesterday and everything, but so
Mommy, I don't like it here.
This is Faith. I want to watch Cocomelon and Rachel, her mother. God, get off the screen. So I'm getting frustrated at the UI there because it keeps covering up the subtitles and parts of the video. And I'm so focused on how bad the UI is and all this other stuff going on that I didn't even realize what was going on. So it popped up the UI and it was saying like, here, we're about to see the result of your community choice. What does Rachel say to her daughter? Like why they're leaving their home and going to stay at the foundation church, at the cult church.
Things. We set up some cots in the meeting room. You and Eric can...
I don't want to stay here.
Well, we're having a sleepover at Mommy's work tonight.
So look at this. It shows the banner up at the top of the screen. You are watching this because 69% of the community chose a foundation story. They chose for Rachel to read her daughter, Faith, a foundation story. And instead, she lies to her and says, we're having a sleepover at Mommy's work tonight, which is one of the other community options that lost. That was not supposed to be the scene that was shown. It was not the one that supposedly won.
Just like we do at Grandma's.
All right, let's get that foundation story. See, I was joking and stuff. I'm like, all right, I'm reading this like, all right, foundation story. She's about to tell her a foundation story. And I'm so zoned out that I'm not even paying attention to the dialogue and realizing that's not what's happening.
But only if you're very brave.
Okay, Mommy.
We don't keep the truth from our children. Lies, even small ones, breed blight.
Fuck off, dude. See, and then the UI starts popping up and covering stuff. I missed Xavier's response to her lying about, what's going on. I missed all of that. I was not paying attention at all because they just showed the completely wrong branch, and I had like no reaction to it yesterday. The story is so mind-numbing that I didn't even realize there was a different thing being shown than what community choice won. So now if you go back into the catch-up for what happened, it plays the correct scene. So here's what
Mommy,
was supposed to
I don't
play.
like it here.
I know, sweetie, and I promise we'll go home soon. We just need to be here for a little while.
I'll go grab the rest of our things.
We set up some cots in the meeting room. You and Eric can...
I don't want to stay here.
Remember the story about the girl in the stone castle?
See, she tells her
So
the
Mommy
story.
and Daddy took her to a big castle so she'd be safe from the monsters outside. And remember who was there to protect them?
The
Purifier. That's right.
Are there monsters outside? Like in the story?
Faith, this place is like the stone castle. Nothing bad can get you in here.
Okay.
I saw something again tonight.
The purifier?
I don't know what it was.
So
Xavier, I'm afraid.
from
Not
this point on, from that point on, the scene plays out exactly the same. And you'll notice that the first like few seconds of the scene, like leading up to where she's saying anything to Faith at all, is exactly the same. And I went through and I played both of these clips side by side. Both scenes, both alternate scenes of her lying and saying we're having a sleepover, and then Xavier telling her you shouldn't lie. That scene from that branch and this scene where she tells the story are the exact same length. So these are designed to be very minimal changed scenes that can just sort of be dropped in to the episode block as a whole, where no matter what choice is made for, you know, these couple of seconds here, this little chunk right here, it will always begin the same way and it will always end the same way. So there's a lot of stuff to kind of take into consideration here. First off, it's very likely that they did make branching pathways, and I've been very critical of that for these first few days since Ascension launched. And I will go ahead and say I do think they have branching pathways, especially since we've seen some of that through the now data mined information that's been cropping up. So it's not a complete, you know, lie to say, oh, there's no alternate scenes whatsoever, and they're just showing you what they want to show you and then giving you the illusion that you're making a choice. So that is something, you know, to kind of go back and correct things that I've been critical of up to this point. Now, obviously, it's not nearly as impactful as you would think it would be. You know, making that choice doesn't completely change how the rest of the episode plays out. It's just what happens in that little isolated scene. No matter what, the overall episode is still going to start and end the same way. So there might be more distinct differences between the branching pathways as it goes on, but right now it seems very, very, very minimal. And there is also part of me, put on your tinfoil hats. There is also part of me that wonders if they were getting worried because so many people were so critical of whether or not you're actually influencing how this plays out. and they deliberately showed something wrong as an excuse to show like, hey, look, we really did have branching pathways, guys. It's not a scam, it's not a lie. Look. It's possible. And I wouldn't initially think that. I would think of it more as why is my fucking computer messing up? I wouldn't initially think that, but there was a tweet. Let me see if I can pull this up. But there was a tweet from Jacob Navoke where he was talking about the wrong scene and everything. Oh wait, did he delete that one? I'm looking through he might have deleted that. I know I posted it in the Discord, in my Discord. So let me just read it from there. This is why I archive everything. Okay, here it is. So Jacob yesterday tweeted, "We've been testing a series of changes to improve the engine reading the right branch. The problem earlier tonight was the back end was set to a later closing time than the engine was expecting. Our engineers put a fix quickly, and we are live checking now. I was really impressed how quickly the community noticed the branch was incorrect. We have proof that the alternate branches are actually there. You can see it in the VOD, which we manually update after the bid closes with the right branch versus what was live." So he made a point of saying in his Twitter response, like, we have proof that the alternate branches are actually there. What a good job being so observative. So why include that? Why say that? I can understand explaining like, oh, we fucked up, we showed the wrong thing, don't worry, we fixed it. Why would you include the comment of, see, look, there are alternate branches? Like, why emphasize that? So is it a matter of he's trying to cover his own ass and be like, hey, look, this little slip up shows that it's all real. You know, we're not faking it. Again, tinfoil hat territory a little bit, but it's very suspicious. The need to defend himself, that's what I would think. 17K influence points. Yeah, I explained it at the start of the stream. They refunded all the points spent from the last 3 days and gave people a big bonus because none of the point buy things have been working. So I have not been grinding away at fucking stones or buying point packs or anything like that. I just logged in today and they had a bunch of points on there because they refunded a bunch of shit and then gave people a bonus on top of the refunded amount. Does that mean people who spent like $100 got a massive load? If people spent money and spent a bunch of points and those points bugged out, yeah, they probably also got refunded plus a bonus and have a shit ton of points now. Oh, excuse me. Imagine how many unused 3D renders they'd have to spend money on if the choices actually mattered and branched out. That's what I'm saying, Boris. Like, it's too much of a workload. There's way too much money invested into things that people would potentially just never see. Yeah, it seems really, really unlikely that there are as many branching, pathways and things that as they claim. And again, I feel like that showing the wrong branch yesterday might have even been intentional, just as a way to sort of be like, hey, naysayers, look, there actually are slightly different scenes. And I mean, yeah, it's not a significant change in the overall scene anyway. It starts exactly the same, it ends exactly the same. It has no bearing on the scene at hand, whether or not, Rachel says one thing or the other to her daughter Faith, because it's the same thing's going to happen no matter what. So that's that. That's the wrong scene happening from yesterday. There was also an issue with the endure mechanic. I guess let me put music back on. There was also an issue with the endure mechanic. So that is the sequence that plays out after the daily scene, where you have a character running through a random Silent Hill world and you have to do shitty QTEs while it happens. So first of all, we noticed that the scenes that were playing out during that segment yesterday were the exact same as day 2 and day 1. And Jacob Devote clarified again on Twitter, that's how it's supposed to be. So those little QTE sequences, they're designed specifically to be the same. They repeat every day. They're not supposed to have any variations. Which, for something that's supposed to keep you engaged daily for 6 to 8 months, why? That's like one of the main reasons anybody would do anything live. Like, so yeah. So those are always going to be the same. He said eventually they'll look into expanding the sequences and stuff, but for now it's about repetition. His explanation was very strange. He worded it as though it's supposed to repeat in order to let people get used to it and get better at it. But it's not like it's exactly high skill base or anything like that, and that just doesn't make a whole lot of sense long term. So yeah, it's really strange. Those are harder to animate and make than a regular cutscene, so it makes sense. Just a weird decision. I agree. I mean, this is something that's supposed to keep an audience engaged and coming back and wanting to be here for the live content every day. And if you find out immediately that the only thing that you actually have to be here for live, because all the episodes and everything else you can just watch after the fact. You can watch it at any point. You don't have to be here live. The only thing you really have to be here live every day for is for those segments. And then immediately turning around and saying, oh, it's the same segment every day. It's like, okay, why be here live then? Why give a shit at all? Like, even if we were to assume that this was good, assume that Ascension was not a train wreck, assume that they nailed this concept and that the mini games are fun and the point systems are fair and blah 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 blah. If the sequence, the only thing that you literally have to be here live for is always exactly the same, nobody's going to give a shit after the first day or two. No matter how good it is. So there's that. Also with that sequence, so with that Endure sequence, yesterday's sequence featured the character Carl Johansson. And Carl, the community and everybody overall succeeded in that endurance segment after yesterday's episode. And then immediately after it was over, it shows you Carl and it said he failed and that his hope meter was decreased. So it went from, oh, look, everyone did it, the community did it, to Carl failed anyway. So again, devs confirmed on Twitter that was a bug. The community did pass. Carl was supposed to endure and not have his hope lowered. So they said they're going to go in and manually change it. And again, if the community's decisions are broken and the developers can just decide to go in and manually change shit. Oh, we showed the wrong thing, so now on the catch-up episode, we're going to show this branch. Oh, the community succeeded, but, you know, the thing said they failed, so we're just going to go in and manually change it. So if your choices don't really matter, if your interaction with everything doesn't really matter, and the developers can just go in and manually change it to whatever they deem it should have been, that just sort of pulls the whole curtain, doesn't it? Like, yes, there might be some alternative scenes, and yes, they might actually have some input in all of these things, but ultimately, at the end of the day, they can decide how it plays out. They can just say, oh, there were too many points in this decision. It was notified as a bug, so we rolled the points back. So now this decision's going to be what we show. And for us, you know, on the user side, we can't see that data. We don't know exactly why they're changing something. We don't know if something bugged out or if they're just making that as an excuse to show you what they want to show you. So again, it's all still very suspicious. I'm still extremely skeptical. So yeah, that's kind of where we're at with that. Oh, cameo tickets. Yeah, let's get some cameo tickets. We got to get Zach Baggins into the Silent Hill canon. I'm going big. I've been buying 2 tickets, but they gave me all those points back, so today we're going 5. There's already 3,000 entries. I think yesterday, before yesterday's episode, it was like almost 6,000 tickets. So, people are clearly dropping off. There's less and less interaction every day that this goes on. I'll be very surprised if there's more than like 100 people doing this like a few weeks from now. Let's see. Yeah, here's Zach Baggins, by the way. Here's my in-game avatar. The host of Ghost Adventures. We'll try and get him in there. Get him in the background somewhere. Part of the Silent Hill canon. This says that I have 2 gifts. I think it's full of shit. I have not gotten a single gift box thing to work. Like, this has never worked a single time. And I know it works for other people. I was watching, I was catching up on Bok Soup's stream. and saw that he opened up some gift boxes and was getting stuff, cosmetics and stickers and shit. Every time it tells me I have rewards, I click on it, it brings me to this. There's no claim button, there's no animation, it doesn't show me anything, it just breaks. So I don't even get to participate in the gacha system. Sorry. Heartbreaking, I know. I've been blacklisted, maybe. Maybe. I have been interacting with Jacob on Twitter, so he's probably looked over my streams and my posts and stuff about it and been like, well, fuck your loot crates, buddy. What do you think of that? Chat is here and still emote only. Let's just get some shadies in chat for the shady business practices of Silent Hill Ascension. Data mining. Let's move on. Let's move on to the next topic of discussion. A lot of stuff has been data mined. Dude, my computer is broken. We had like a weird power outage earlier. And now like none of my shit's working right. Like all of my OBS stuff is fucked up. All of my browser stuff is fucked up. What the hell is going on? How do you data mine a web series? Beats me. I'm not that technical. I don't understand how a lot of that stuff works. It's not like I did it personally, but someone did and posted it on Reddit. So I'm just here to share that information with you. I'm just here to relay it. Sorry, I'm trying to get this pulled up. And by the way, thank you to Lordransky in chat. Lordransky, thank you for the heads up on the data mining stuff and for the links to the info and everything like that. So I'm just going to put this link because there's a lot. There's a lot, dude. I'm going to put that link in chat for anybody who wants to kind of look through this. Do I have a way I can... But yeah, there's essentially a premium season pass banner with some new stickers. Those stickers include things like Masahiro Ito artwork, Ito, you know, concept art for Pyramid Head just turned into a sticker. There are thumbnails for episodes and things that haven't been shown yet. There are icons for creatures and things, and some of them are like the nurse artwork directly from Homecoming, the Screamer artwork directly out of Downpour, Lisa with her Silent Hill movie Lisa with her eyes all whited out. Sorry, I'm trying to like figure out if I can show this. Yeah. So the mild data mine with more season pass. Let's see, can I? Dude, my everything is so broken. Sorry for all the technical issues. So yeah, we can see some character model stuff here. Stickers, Pyramid Head artwork. This is Masahiro Ito's Pyramid Head artwork here. Beard skin, more Pyramid Head art. Thumbnails. Some of these we've seen, some of which are for things that haven't been shown just yet. Some loading screens and stuff like this. But see, there's image files of like icons, Pyramid Head. This is artwork from Homecoming, artwork from Downpour, concept art. You know, this down here is movie Lisa. So some really interesting like mishmash of things across the franchise. Clock face and fuse box, possibly some future mini games when they start rotating those out for different things. So little icons, rings, necklaces. These are probably for that click around item hunt game that we had on day one. But yeah, some more character portraits and things like that. It's not, you know, it's Ascension. So at the end of the day, who really cares? Here's the most exciting thing, fishing minigame. You all doubted it, but wait until the fishing minigame gets here. That's when it's gonna get good. Yeah, fishing. The fish should be unknowable horrors. Yeah, we're gonna fish up some trauma. Also a cat. There are just snapshots, photos of somebody's cat in the Ascension files, in the data mine stuff. So cool. Best part, I love it. So really looking forward to the cat DLC and the fishing mini game.
really got a lot to look forward to when it comes to Ascension. So yeah. That's kind of where we're at. That's about all the Ascension stuff to catch up on since yesterday. They showed off an alternative branch. It's our first time seeing an alternative scene, and it's, surprise, surprise, not that impactful on everything overall, on the scene overall. We know the enduring segments don't work. None of that works the way that it's supposed to, and that they can just go through and manually change or fix whatever they want on their end. We've seen some of the data mined information for potential future things. We know that they've got other season passes, premium passes, and things planned. So that Pyramid Head sticker is stolen from this fan-made mod for Don't Starve. Are you sure? I have links disabled in chat because bots ruin good things for everybody. But that just looks like concept art. That looks like some Silent Hill 2 original concept art. It doesn't look like... I mean, maybe you're right. But before the cartoon one... Oh, the little cartoony one. The little cartoony one. Yeah, if you can whisper the link to me or put it in Discord... And then I check Discord and I see Blood Blossom's mock-up of the Hideo Kojima Kami in My Tummy shirt. New merch soon. New merch soon, guys. What the fuck? Yeah, so for anybody who doesn't know what the hell I'm talking about, day one of Ascension, the chat filter was all fucked up. It was letting like horrible racist slurs and stuff go through, but people were not able to say things like Hideo Kojima or scam. Those words were like blacklisted. But then like hard R slurs and shit were going through. So day one was horrible, even more than it is each following day. And a Silent Hill creator by the name of Bob Vids. Bob Vids, by the way, I love. I've actually shown some of Bob Vids' YouTube channel, The Great Debate, on my own story playthroughs, because they've done some really great interviews with Tom Hewlett, Guy Seehee, Jeremy Blaustein. So they've done a lot of great interviews and videos and stuff with Silent Hill developers in the past. So Bob Vids and Great Debate, they're awesome. But yeah, Bob Vids has been taking place or taking part in Silent Hill Ascension. And day one, when he was streaming it, he got his community to band together and spam the chat with Hideo Kojima's "Kami in My Tummy." Like, specifically that phrase. He was like, everybody copy and paste this into the chat. And there's a feature in the Ascension chat called Blast. So, oh, the app is down. I was going to show you Blast, but the app just went down. Oh, it's booting back up. So before it goes away again, if you click over here, you have Blast. Blast can only be sent while watching a live stream. So basically you can spend points to have your message in chat get pinned for a few seconds up at the top. And if you're somebody like Bob Vids, who's got a lot of people watching you, and you get them all to do it, it says it basically constantly at the top of the chat. So for day one, for a good portion of the chat being live, it just constantly had stuck at the top, Hideo Kojima's Cummies in my tummy. Which is amazing. And yeah. Blood Blossom made a shirt mock-up. Pyramid Head. Oh my god, you're right. Thank you for posting that, Romanticore. Wow. That is actually ridiculous. So this is fan made, right? Obviously. This is a little like fan made, commissioned by Enormous Pharmacy. So they took fan art and have files in game for that to be an icon. That's kind of crazy. That's kind of crazy. But we also know that Konami's not above just gratuitously stealing and using fan-made things for their official products. I actually called this out when we were watching the Silent Hill transmission last year. So during the Silent Hill transmission last year, there was a font that was used during the transmission that it was not the official in-house like Silent Hill font from any of the games. It was a fan-made font called Silent Hell of Cheryl that has been around for a long time. So rather than using something that they probably should have that access to that asset internally, they just used a fan-made asset. Most likely without credit. Like there was no credit on the transmission or anything for using it. They just used it. So without crediting or anything for the artist, the fan who makes that font, they just grabbed it and used it. There was also footage of Silent Hill 2 during the transmission where it was all nice and clean and widescreen, and I was looking at it, and some of the lighting and shading effects in particular, it's one of those things that you'd have to be a fucking crazy super nerd to notice. But I was like, that's not the HD collection, that's the enhanced edition. I knew as soon as I saw it because I was seeing visual things that were specifically fixed for the enhanced edition in the footage of the Silent Hill transmission. So immediately after, I'm friends with Ratiocinator, who is the lead of the Enhanced Edition team, and that's all fan-made stuff. So the devs who make the Silent Hill 2 Enhanced Edition, like I talked to Ratiocinator and I was like, hey, this looks like Enhanced Edition footage, and he verified for me that yes, that is indeed Enhanced Edition footage, and they did not get contacted. Nobody asked them for permission. Obviously, it wasn't credited or anything during the transmission, so Konami just stealing fan-made things and using them for their own purpose is not new. So if they did steal somebody's fan art for like a Pyramid Head sticker and stuff like that, or commissioned art or mods or anything like that for stickers and things in this game, it would not surprise me. Not surprise me in the least. Always nice to let the artist know. Yeah. Yeah, that's like the most you can do is let the people involved know. And I mean, there's only so much you can realistically hope to accomplish, especially going against somebody like Konami. Like, even the voice actors themselves, Guy Seehee, you know, couldn't settle a case against Konami. Thessaly Lerner, Lisa Garland's voice actress from Silent Hill 1, tried to sue Konami back in 2003. And that was settled out of court, never went to actual case, court case, because they're a big, scary corporation, and they've got an entire legal team dedicated to knocking down anybody who goes against them and doesn't have the money to really deal with a legal battle, you know? Yeah, just Konami things. Standard Konami shit. My points are back? My points are back. Everything just reset again. Do I need to buy my cameo tickets again? Yeah, it went back to 0 entries. We're getting Zach Baggins in there. Maybe when they reset it, maybe they fixed... Do I finally, for the first time, get to claim a reward? They fixed it. There's still no sound effect. Hell yeah, look at my uncommon emoji. It's a happy stinger. What the fuck is that? Why you got grandma's booty as an emote? Get it away. Get it away. What the fuck? What the fuck is wrong with you? God, I hate this. Testicle head. The new monster. Jesus. Are you happy with your gifts? I preferred it when I wasn't getting presents. Now that I've seen what the fucking presents are. Now that I know what's in the loot boxes, it's grandma's ass. Fucking trying to do the goatsy pose. Jesus Christ, keep it to yourself, Ascension. God, never mind. It's live. It's time.
Pow!
You're in trouble, Orson. You're in big trouble, Orson.
Pow!
Yeah, it was supposed to be a pre-show. I guess it fucked up.
Hey, Angel. I need to talk to you about something. You know how you've been staying home from school? That's because of what happened on your last day. Do you remember?
You ask a lot of questions, Mama. Like Zane.
Is that a friend in your class?
Imaginary friend.
Orson,
He's been seeing a man in the
your teacher
fog
said you got into
named Zane.
an argument and you bit another kid. Orson, Look at me.
We're watching this because the
You
community
beat
chose to
someone.
lecture him.
That's not okay.
He's being
Ever.
lectured.
Do you understand me? When you hurt people, it hurts you in your heart. And it hurts my heart too. You don't want to hurt me, do you?
Astrid, I think that's enough.
I know that was hard to hear. But that ugliness, that's how your grandma behaved. I don't think we need any more angry, mean old ladies in the world. We need more good little boys. More Orsons. Okay?
Weird.
Okay.
Okay.
I can make us some tea. The water's still hot.
No, Papa.
You did a hard thing up there, talking things out with Orson. But I think you'll be a better person for it.
I don't want to hear your review of my parenting skills.
All right? Then what do you want to talk about?
The syringe. The one I found in Mama's room.
The voice acting, it feels like it's
more to
getting
say.
worse.
I ran a test on
Oh
it,
no,
Papa.
a spooky.
It was filled with morphine. Is that what you were giving Mama? Is that what killed her?
Why do you bring this up again? Why can't you let it go?
I already told you her death wasn't my fault. I did everything for your mother.
Because you were scared of her.
Stefan, you don't know anything. You don't know what it was like, what she could do, what...
Are you fucking serious? I know exactly what it was like. Every day in this house was torture.
Are we just ignoring
And
the
you,
monster?
Mama, you didn't do a goddamn thing about it.
Oh. Carl's having visions,
I-
delusions.
Where are you going?
To get Orson. You're not fit to be around him.
Leave the boy, Astrid. You don't know what you're saying.
I thought all of this shit was finally gone with Mama. I was wrong.
I'm sorry. I don't know what happened.
I've heard a lifetime of empty apologies. I don't need another.
Who cares?
Astrid,
Get out of my way.
Please. I'm
Get out of my way.
I'm sorry.
You can feel the tension. You could cut the tension with a horrible UI pop-up.
Please.
Those were Silent Hill sound effects.
Make it stop.
That was the sound effect when you interact with a save point in Silent Hill 3.
I can lock up. See you back at the house? I could cook and...
We need to go back.
What?
Let's go, Faith. Grab your stuff.
Wait, Rach. Talk to me.
Mommy?
Faith, honey, can you go check on the machines over there? Go see if anyone left anything behind.
You trusted me enough to tell me what really happened to Joy, and you can trust me now. So tell me. What's going on?
The community chose to tell him the truth.
Hey, look at me. Rach,
She got
can talk
killed
to
by
me.
a tentacle monster.
I can't.
Rach, come on. It's me. I'm not gonna tell anybody anything.
You're asking me to break my oath.
I just want to help.
I said no.
You're right. I'm sorry.
Wait. Why is she yelling at him and saying no? I thought she's telling him the truth. Did we see the wrong scene again? Where is it? Where's the one? That was the wrong scene again. That was the wrong scene again. Is it over already? No, we still have the endurance round. Get ready. Get ready, everybody. Fingers on your phones. We need to pass this as a community. Let's see if actual community names pop up today, or if it's still bots.
I have to find a way out.
Yeah, it's the repeating QTEs. All they do is put in a different character, but the scene and everything plays out the same. Oh, okay. Yeah. You're right, Spidey. It was a scene that played out because she did tell him the truth in an earlier scene yesterday. So we're seeing the influence of that on this scene. It's just very confusing because based on the title that was up at the top, it was like, oh, she's going to tell him the truth. Meanwhile, she's like, no, I can't tell you anything. But yeah, you're right. It's just very, very poorly worded. Yeah, the names are gone. Community gonna fail again? Probably. I don't know. We'll see. They're doing pretty good right now. Oh, cameo. Zach Baggins didn't make it in, though. Yeah, exact same scene. We've seen this 3 times already. We've seen this 3 times in a 4-day long event so far. And this is supposed to go on for the next 6 to 8 months. And again, this is the only sequence that you actually have to be here live to do. Everything else you can just watch or do later at any time. This is the only real thing that is only available to you if you're here live. And it's the exact same every day. Just the character changes. Like how the roaches scream. It's straight out of Homecoming. The bugs with human faces. Well, it's from the Silent Hill movie, and then Homecoming stole it for Homecoming, and then Ascension stole it from that. We did it. Oh, no, it's still happening. Cameo. There goes that person. I wonder how long until there's like a TTV, like someone advertising their Twitch or their YouTube as a cameo. They're gonna get so many views. Oh no, I fucked up. I'm sorry, community. Ascension category on Twitch has 3,000 viewers. That's more than I would have thought. Ah, shit. That was the wrong thing. It's just me and Bach. That makes sense. God damn it, I keep thinking this is the click fast one instead of the It doesn't matter, who cares? Let's just not even do the rest. Fuck it. I don't care. Let's just sit and watch.
Stay away. Stay away.
Let her die or whatever. I don't think it does anything. The scene is going to be exactly the same no matter what. It's just going to say you failed. But it doesn't matter. They clearly rigged the community bar. Nah, they're probably doing like perfectly. Everyone is just giving their best effort. Look at me. Look how hard I'm trying. Don't worry, guys. It's because it's day 4. The community just finally got a hang of the QTEs. Everyone's just really good. Everyone's god gamers at Ascension now. Why is she here? Absolutely zero reason. They just drop a character from today's episode into the same environment with the same monsters in the same scenes every day. There's not like a story reason that any of them are here. It doesn't impact how they react to things or act during the episodes, you know. You're not going to see her in tomorrow's episode saying, I went to this crazy place and ran away from dogs and threw a rock at a monster. Like, none of this affects it in that way. The only thing that this supposedly affects is the character's hope. And they claim that if a character's hope is too low, they could potentially die in the actual story, like episodes and things. But this little like endurance section itself is not, yeah, this is not part of the story, dog. So this is all just to affect that hope mechanic. But the characters being here and like experiencing these things, it has zero impact or bearing on the characters in the actual episodes. Oh, the community like failed big time. And I passed 100% by doing nothing. What's even going on? My bar's not moving at all, and I have not touched my mouse. And now the bar is shot back up to pass. Dude, it's so fake. Even if it's not fake, it's so bugged that you don't get any sort of feedback by participating. And if you don't get any feedback about like doing any of this shit, then you know, there's no point. You have no motivation to think you're impacting it in any way. You can succeed by failing. It's true. Like, I literally have not touched my mouse, and I am doing the best I've ever done on one of these segments.
What is that?
What's up, Milky Moo? This is truly rock bottom, huh? It's pretty fucking bad. It's definitely worse than like anything else in the Silent Hill franchise so far. And that is including the like slot machines and the Pachi slot and that kind of stuff. Like I lived with an Eternal Enigma for a time, and he owns the Silent Hill 2 Pachi slot. I've spent a significant amount of time playing it. There's more effort and like there's more effort and quality put into those gambling machines, the Pachi slot and the slot machines, than this. Like, this is by far the worst thing. Now I did put up a video today on YouTube and Twitter and stuff that when I finished Silent Hill Book of Memories, I did an entire playthrough of Silent Hill Book of Memories over the course of multiple years to finish all 500 zones of it, simply because nobody else had really ever done it. Nobody else had recorded it or streamed it or anything like that. So I did that. And when I finished 500 zones of Book of Memories, I burned my cartridge. I got a Silent Hill scented candle that was fan made, and I used it to melt the physical cartridge of Book of Memories, my Vita game. And I was like, this is a ritual, you know, a cleansing ritual, so that all the games that come out after Book of Memories will hopefully be better than that. And I joked that there's no way they could make a game worse than Book of Memories. I'm sorry. The ritual failed. They fucking did it.
To introduce Stefan B, who is here with us. He's the Chief Creative Officer of Genvid. Stefan.
Same shirt. Same shirt. Good call, Christophonics. He's got the skull shirt on from day one.
So we're so glad to have you here. I have some
His
questions
designated
for you.
stream shirt.
So first of all, what excites you the most about what you've worked on so far on Ascension?
I mean, I'm excited the most about rolling out a new entertainment format that's never been done before. The idea of the socially interactive streaming service and taking ideas that I'd worked on previously at places like Telltale with
yeah, we get it. You all worked for Telltale.
A format where the entire audience makes the decisions collectively and then creates canon, and then
I'm getting so tired of hearing the exact same talking points over and over.
The audience are shaping the canon of this story that is part of this great, awesome Silent Hill franchise.
Genvid has literally done this before.
Sort of
The Walking Dead Last Mile. Every time they try to explain why they're fucking things up, they try to say that they're up and coming and they're a small dev team and they don't know what they're doing and they have no experience, but they've done this exact same format for The Walking Dead before.
Working on the series and working with Konami. So can you also, let's like go back a sec. Can you like introduce your role in Genvid?
Sure, I'm the Chief Creative Officer, so I am responsible for all of the creative development of our projects. So the writing, the narrative design, the game design, art, cinematics, animation, etc. So that is what I do.
Yeah, so you are kind of the puppeteer, and we are, you know, you're one of the chief puppeteers here.
Yes, a puppet master,
if you will. And but speaking about puppet masters, what's your favorite Silent Hill Ascension monster? If production, sorry. Stefan, can you tell us what's your favorite monster on Ascension?
My favorite monster is the Collector.
What's making her laugh? What is she giggling about?
Is quite mysterious.
Oh, smooth, flawless transition.
The Collector as we go through our Silent Hill Ascension season, but there's some pretty cool deep lore behind the Collector as well. That,
look at the shady spam.
The audience can sort of talk about and
great job.
About and
great job, everyone.
Find more out about later. But I think the Collector is a super cool creature.
It looks really cool and mysterious, you know. It reminds me of some people of my past, but
I'm sorry to hear that.
yeah, no, let's carry on. So who's your favorite character in Ascension? I know it's kind of like difficult to answer because it's like you're a parent and they're all your children, but who are you
Carl.
leaning towards at this point?
He's a Carl fan.
So it is very difficult to choose since as the creator, they are all my babies. But
Who's
I would
his favorite?
say that right now, with everything that's going on, I am very intrigued by Rachel.
Oh, Rachel.
You know, in past Silent Hill stories, we've sort of seen the aftermaths of cult activity. We've had cult members as opponents, but this is an opportunity to sort of get inside the still functioning workings of the cult through Rachel, and influence her journey as someone who is a true believer and deciding what she should and should not believe within this worldview that she's developed, because she has these beliefs. And
who the hell is the collector even? We don't even know.
Challenged and at the same time
the one who collects all the money
seeing happening
that
world around her, and I think
people
that's a
spend
really
on this.
Cool
He's the monster that goes around and steals your credit card information.
Right. Rachel is a fascinating character. I can't wait to see more and more what's behind those piercing eyes. Yeah, and what did you think that the audiences will most resonate within the story?
I mean, so
No way in fuck did Konami approach them. Konami did approach them. Konami approached them after turning down
in the Silent Hill universe by having multiple protagonists in 2 locations at the
Supermassive.
same time in the same story, each of whom has their own peculiarities, their own dark pasts.
Because Supermassive apparently had a Silent Hill pitch.
And so,
that they approached Konami with, and Konami turned them down, and instead went and greenlit this.
Be terrified or disgusted by, and that's deliberate. Like, we wanted to have a lot of variety because we are a worldwide social experience, and so the idea was to have more for more people, because we've got people engaged all around the world, right? Like the Silent Hill core titles, by being on console and high-end PC, have one audience. But
maybe Dos Equis. Supermassive's idea probably wasn't
PC browser
wasn't as compatible with microtransactions, so they turned that down.
Maybe have never experienced any Silent Hill title before, and so we were trying to create a cast of characters that had enough different universal ideas behind them that general horror audiences, and not
just give the Silent Hill IP to Puppet Combo,
around the world, could get interested in our characters.
Right. It really is so cool to have like 2 stories, and it begs the question, what brings them together, right? Like later on, I feel like we will discover more.
Either Puppet Combo or like the people who did
what horror inspirations are important to you?
Lost in Vivo, or like Solaris.
I speak on behalf of the entire Silent Hill franchise and all of the other developers, but to me personally, a lot of my horror inspirations start with like really classic
Chilla. Yeah, Chilla's art.
And then
there's a lot of teams that I think if they were actually allowed to have the license and given creative control, they could make quality Silent Hill entries.
Like that. But there's also a lot of really interesting,
definitely not this,
atmospheric,
definitely not this,
particularly being done now, that I think is really interesting. So I look to a variety of different kinds of horror for inspiration, but my heritage.
Think Way Forward would be a good fit for this. All right, Get Out.
Carpenter,
now you're crossing the line.
That kind of
Way
stuff.
Forward had their chance.
Right, and
They made Book of
I
Memories.
can't even, I guess everybody saw my face.
The
light
second
up when
worst
you
Silent
brought
Hill
those
thing
names,
ever
so
made.
Clearly, you know my opinion. But speaking of horror inspiration, because the soundtrack of Silent Hill Ascension is really beautifully done by Kevin Key from very known for Skinny Puppy, and it was your call, Stefan.
They make a big deal about Kevin Key and Skinny Puppy.
Please tell us about
and then the app itself is completely silent. Like there is no music. There's no nothing. And even the music that is playing during the episodes is like forgettable as fuck.
Tear Garden, etc. And it turned out that Yamaoka-san was also inspired by Skinny Puppy, among other things, in creating the original Silent Hill scores.
That is true.
And so it seemed like a great opportunity.
Skinny Puppy was
to work with someone
a band that Yamaoka listened to and was influenced by.
Franchise, but at the same time was going to do something that was new and different and unique.
Which is why I thought that was actually kind of a neat idea, getting Kevin Key and getting Skinny Puppy for this, but
I think it's such a beautiful marriage.
it's so wasted. It's so wasted. It's like getting Daniel leaked for Downpour and then not letting him make anything memorable.
Skinny Puppy. Anyway, but so if there's one thing that you could share with the community at this point, what would it be?
If there was one thing I could share with the community at this point, it would be my excitement for them to continue to go down the rabbit hole with these characters and with some other characters that may or may not appear later in the story, because the team put a lot of hard work.
Do you think he washed that skull shirt? No, he probably hasn't slept in the last 4 days.
Silent Hill story that both draws on all of the pillars of the best past Silent Hill experiences.
He's probably got his hands full with this fucking train wreck.
Identify, but also expands the lore of the franchise in interesting ways. We also worked with Konami on that. And there's a lot of fun stuff for people who love Silent Hill, but also who just love horror and cult stories and psychological horror in general.
That's us.
Dig their teeth into as we get further and further into the season.
We're those people who like psychological horror.
Arcs and character conflicts, but also what exactly is going on? Why are these multiple characters in these two locations in the same story at the same time? Who exactly is the collector? And things like that I think people will find pretty fascinating if they continue to come back every day. And
who exactly is the collector? Who gives a fuck? We don't even know who these characters are yet.
The fates of these characters, like when you
we barely know anything about what's going on.
They don't just become canon story, but you are also driving the final fates of these characters and pushing them in one direction or another with your decisions each time.
What is the foundation? The Order 2.0.
Great story and an opportunity to, as an audience, shape that canon story, and including the fates of these characters when they finally
imagine having to act positive in interviews for this.
This is like
it's a lot easier when you're getting paid.
As opposed to your favorite horror film, perhaps, you really have control on what's gonna happen.
I hope they're getting paid well enough.
If you shout at the screen in the movie theater, it doesn't do anything, but if you participate in a Silent Hill Ascension decision, it does something.
Right, and I noticed that the audience has been...
It's not necessarily true. You can shout in a movie theater and it'll affect your experience.
But it's so great to see people voting something other than redemption a little bit.
They'll probably kick you out.
Domination, people wanting Toby to attack the Foundation.
Why do they keep saying canon?
Like
because buzzword.
Because I personally have been curious about the other options.
They know that Silent Hill fans often argue on Reddit about what is canon and what is not, and that it's something very important to them. So they're using it as a buzzword to try and trigger fans.
The action you think is the right one to take.
Even though nobody considers this canonical in any way.
To attack now, but there may be
Well,
consequences for that later.
I'm sure some people do.
Like everything in life, impulsivity.
Most people won't.
Later, but this is all just. Thank God it's not real life. You can enjoy.
Is there a video game? You missed the video game.
And so, from the
They play
cast
a
members,
repeated
tell us
scene,
how similar or different
the
they
same
are.
scene every night, and they put random QTEs on top of it. That's the video game. There's another part to the video game. I'll show you after the interview.
Suddenly in a situation that involves murder, dark secrets, and monsters. So that's definitely a similarity that they share. But each of them has a unique personality. Each of them has a unique thematic and perspective on what is happening around them. They have each have their own role in the dark past that has caused them to ultimately wind up in this situation, including the deaths at the beginning of the season. And so, yeah, I mean, they are not a bunch of cookie cutter clones of each other. Each one is a unique personality that's going to give you a different perspective into
This is just sad for everyone involved. I agree, JJ.
Also a different feeling about love them, hate them, want to see them redeemed, suffering, or damned, and so on. So
Right. So speaking of about decisions,
it's legitimately kind of embarrassing to be like a Silent Hill fan right now.
Because this is another thing everybody has in common. They are part
Like it's been rough for a while, but
you can choose what happens to them. So the decision we have
Ascension's definitely not doing any favors.
React to Astrid keeping Orson from him.
How will Carl react to Astrid keeping Orson from him?
Bluff, or demand an apology, or beg for forgiveness. She's basically taking.
No matter what you choose, the scene where that choice is made is going to start and end exactly the same. They'll reference back to it in future episodes, which we saw in tonight's episode. But for the most part, it's like it doesn't.
So, what do I think?
It doesn't seem to really impact things as much.
Personal level, I personally would be, as Astrid, a bit indignant. I mean, as Carl, sorry, be a bit indignant with Astrid for doing this. So I might demand an apology, but that's not a right answer. Just because I was involved in creating this.
Don't know why they didn't put out character profiles and maybe a short synopsis of the plot for them before this was hastily shoved out the door. So, Xander, that's a really good point, and it's something that I did want to talk about. So I mentioned that they've done this before. They've done The Walking Dead: The Last Mile, which is the exact same concept as Ascension. Straight down to the influence points, and they're still called influence points in The Walking Dead: The Last Mile. The only difference was that The Last Mile was only a Facebook game, so the scale of the audience was much smaller than what it is for Ascension. But otherwise, the format for how it worked was almost exactly the same. You had the same shitty mini games, you had the same shitty animated segments. Like it was the exact same thing, just Walking Dead instead of Silent Hill. But in The Walking Dead: The Last Mile, there were character. It was like a visual novel. There were unvoiced, unanimated scenes where you could read these sort of little stories of the characters interacting and talking about stuff in between the main episodes. So you had all this extra lore and backstory for all the characters that you can read up on in between the daily episodes. This does not have this. This Ascension doesn't have that, but The Walking Dead did. So they got rid of something that would have been better to just keep in this.
Being with us here this evening, we learned a lot. We got really inspired, and it was a pleasure to have you. Thank you so much.
Yes, well, we did ask Konami if we could make a Silent Hill comedy, but they said to make it morbid instead. So there you go.
Oh, they wanted to make a comedy first.
Thank you.
Just like Climax. Just like Climax. It's just like the first version of Silent Hill Origins that was going to be based on Scrubs.
This is a community product. It's a community experience, and this is for you. So thank you for participating, and thanks for having me, Noah.
Yeah, thanks, Stefan. Bye. So, let's talk about puzzles, because I love me some puzzles.
It's not over? You're still gonna... Are we just watching her live stream now?
The audience, can earn influence points by using the puzzles. You can affect the characters' hope. So the puzzles are available to play.
We're just watching her live stream now.
In the Arcane Library. So at the top
Hey,
of the
live Eduardo reaction.
Right there.
Oh, he's gone. Eduardo? 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 Where'd he go? Oh no. They got Eduardo. It's still live. We're still going. I don't want to.
Together.
Oh,
So production, could you please show us the puzzles?
He's back.
Because I want to walk the audience through the puzzles that we have. So we have 2 mindfulness puzzles that are available for free. You can always play them for free. And
Eduardo's hope was too low.
There is one that's available for free. And they are changing every day. So, oh my god, you're back.
Oh my god, she's clipping out her fucking Discord call.
Hi, it's a pleasure to be back.
Too excited. Too excited.
I'm glad to see that
Tone it down. It's just Ascension.
The mindfulness puzzles are now available for free for everyone so they can affect characters' hopes.
Mindfulness is now free for everybody. Thank God.
So I'm glad to see that like in action. So from now,
You don't have to spend the $20 season pass
you can at home
to affect the character's hope anymore.
At any time. So let's take a moment though to discuss the
Finally.
story so far. Eduardo, please walk us through it.
Sure, of course. So our lovely production crew,
Which means that the season pass that I spent 20 of Yami's hard-earned dollars on is now even more useless.
Initiation ritual conducted by Rachel. As a result, Rachel is being questioned by the elders about Joy's death. As you know, questioning should probably happen here. That said, Toby, Joy's brother, finds out that she died, and unfortunately gets
still no regrets.
Seeing the dead sister in the woods.
As long as you're okay with it, Yami. If at any point you want that $20 back, Ascension might not give that money back, but I will give you your $20 back.
So she escapes with Eric and their daughter to the Foundation for Refuge. That's quite a lot of action actually in Pennsylvania for sure here. No, like that's a really strong start, right, Noah?
It is a very strong start, and let me tell you, I had days where I felt Toby-esque.
Joy died during a Foundation initiative. Rachel's being questioned by the elders. We haven't seen that.
Horrible what he's going through.
Right?
What did he do wrong? He's not in the Foundation.
I mean,
He's just
Xavier
minding
kind
his
of
business,
talked about it. Is that what they mean?
Stuff keeps falling on his head. All this catastrophe.
Toby finds out Joy died and sees Yao. Rachel sees monsters. She and Eric take Faith to the Foundation for Refuge. Yeah.
You know she's been dead. You see a delusion of her. You know,
She was told it was going to happen.
With her telling you to burn it down. And
Okay.
the funny fact is, I actually checked that decision. There's still a while to go, but the audience, for once, a lot of you have picked the redemption path, and totally fair on you. You know, at the end of the day, it's you, the audience at home, deciding. But on this decision, it seems the audience is really split between that redemption path or just getting Toby to burn it down.
Right. This one is an intense one. It's
Yeah,
really
guys,
fun
the
to see,
community's really torn on this one, so you better get your votes in.
and it's so great to see, like,
It's such a close decision.
I'm so curious to see, like, really, I kind of want to see each and every.
So buy some point packs and influence that decision. We definitely didn't manipulate it to be close.
Because, I could stay in Silent Hill forever, but I need to like go feed my dog.
We're definitely not just trying to bait people into interacting.
Also, we had a lot going on in Norway as well, right? We had a bunch of. There's a lot of family drama both in Pennsylvania and in Norway. So can you please tell us more about the drama in Norway?
Of course, it'd be my great pleasure. So our lovely production team is also going to throw that on screen for you. Norway, week 1 so far.
Norway, week 1.
While things have also picked up, it's not quite as fast as Pennsylvania. We're taking a bit more time. There's a little bit more intrigue. We're not
Astrid
quite sure
discovered Ingrid died under the care of Carl. She found a suspicious syringe in the room where Ingrid died.
under the care of Carl.
Detective Hogan
So at the same time,
questioned Carl about the death.
Finds a suspicious syringe in the room where Ingrid
Shush,
died.
shush, shush, shush. Astrid learned that Orson bit another child at daycare, and he gets suspended.
Questioning Carl about the death of Ingrid. That's a few detectives. That was Hagen, as well as some of our audience members who were actually present in the scene. If you want to check that again in our catch-up videos a bit later. Now,
Yeah, the detectives were played by cameo characters.
I was hearing a lot about kind of that family drama, the tension, generational trauma. So the thing here, Astrid learned that Orson bit another child at daycare.
Are we going to see any Dev cry? That's why I'm here. We already saw Jacob Navoke cry on day 2, so. And he said on Twitter he's not going to be on the streams anymore.
If you haven't and you're just jumping in, you can always
So probably not.
Catch up.
Probably not anymore.
All that said, it's a lot of tension for this family. But essentially, long story short, the grandmother died, but in mysterious circumstances, they're trying to figure out things here.
Right. So basically, poor Astrid, she had a fight with her mom, and she goes back, like she takes a breather. She's like, I want to solve this. She comes back. She's dead. Her mom's dead, okay?
She's dead.
And Carl was seeing all kinds of weird stuff when it happened. Like, when he came back to see Ingrid was dead, he was trapped in some otherworldly things, which were harrowing. So it's kind of hard to know, like, are these people facing their traumas because these monsters are inducing them, or are the traumas inducing the monsters?
That's a good way to put it.
Oh, can you imagine if they actually gave community votes for things like that? Like, which devs do we see on the pre-show and post-show? And
I checked with the rest of the development team to be 100%.
I would actually give a shit about that. Way more than anything going on in the story.
Actually, the community succeeded. So what we did to make sure that was followed is Carl's hope actually went up to make sure it followed what you at home managed to do. Because you were successful, we wanted to make sure that was reflected. So
you want to see the voice actors?
Although Carl's situation,
so do I, just to prove that it's not AI.
Life is difficult there in Norway, especially for.
I'm not entirely convinced there are actual voice actors.
Just died in suspicious circumstances, but also like Orson biting the kid. Eduardo, do you think how bad was that bite? Oh, let's get back to that later. But because it's important to know. What's going to happen with Orson biting the kid, for instance? So let's talk about our fate and hope system. Eduardo, can you talk about that?
Sure, of course. So one of the things you'll have noticed when Orson biting the kid is a lot of the decisions were not fate. They were essentially, well, how does the parent deal with the child here? But a lot of the decisions we have in Silent Hill Decision are fate decisions. So this is where the decisions, the endurance scenes, those mindfulness puzzles that now you have all access to, determine whether the characters redeem, suffer, or damn. And that's really going to be how the season builds up. It's decided across the length of it. And remember that even if you are going down that redemption path, the character's hope does have to be high enough for them to survive some of those crucial story moments. And one of the things we're actually going to do here is we're going to go throwback to the very first decision we've asked you, even before the show kind of went live. For the first time, I'm going to ask our production team to throw up that first decision on screen. And what we're going to do is we're actually going to check.
What will Rachel tell Joey to do?
What you as a community decided. So
yeah, this is what you chose, community.
And essentially your options were to finish the oath, which was the redemption, to run, which was suffering, or to plead for mercy, which was damnation.
Jacob just tweeted he has it locked. Oh boy.
Seeing that played out, the other two were available but wouldn't show because that's not what happened. And the interesting part for me here is the scores are pretty high. So you had 19.4 million total for that kind of winning choice.
Moment collection.
Half of the influence points used, but the top choice was about 79,000. Now the thing is, that's about 0.4%.
Tonight has post show. Okay, we'll go over what he said after the
it was really
Eduardo
a lot of
moments.
you that together decided collectively what would happen. And personally, I would have gone for Run, but Joy wouldn't have survived. Now, it's just because, you know, Noah, in a death cult situation,
We're getting some primo Eduardo content right now, okay? This is the best part of the whole week. Let's just enjoy it.
I do want to admit that their theories are kind of accurate, it seems, their descriptions. But I also want to remind you, audience, that you can see previous decisions within the Silent Hill Ascension at any time in the decision section in the bottom of the screen. So you can always check in, and I kind of like to do it all the time to like, just because I'm curious what y'all gonna choose, and I'm also throwing some influence points there occasionally, but I don't know, personally.
The devs are swaying it.
Yeah, so you make sure you
Noah just admitted it.
Decisions as well, because everything, there's like an avalanche here of consequences. So make sure you're up to date on everything. And so we want to take some time to help you have the best Silent Hill Ascension.
30 million people voted. Is that a real number? Probably not.
Eduardo, can you explain more about that?
Sure, of course. So as we're in our first week with Silent Hill Ascensions,
I don't know. I don't see those analytics.
Quite what we were hoping for. So I'm gonna look.
But I imagine that's probably inflated.
Let you know as well where you can find out more information about that. So if you watched yesterday, one of the scenes that now is on catch up is Someone to Watch Over Me. That actually aired. That was actually not the correct video that aired live.
Has there even been any confirmed voting parties, like people coordinating to vote on specific things? No. So far, the most coordinated any community in interacting with Ascension has been is when Bob Vids got his community to spam the chat on day one with the message, Hideo Kojima's cummies in my tummy. That so far has been the biggest recorded, confirmed, like, community coordinating something with Ascension so far.
But that wasn't quite what was reflected. So we want to tell you all, great job at home.
I'm not joking either. Google it. There's already multiple articles written about it.
Work and your great results. Don't worry about it.
Just go ahead and type that into your search bar. Hideo Kojima's cummies in my tummy. You'll be surprised.
So make sure you download the best. From time to time, make sure you download the latest one. It gets you the best stability. And as we go through,
I'm at work.
And following weeks, we'll make sure to deliver.
I'll write you a note if you get in trouble. Just do it. It'll be funny.
Let's be honest here. So we want to hear from you. You can always contact us by going into settings. So that's a little cog on the top right corner of the app. It should be very near my hands here. In there's the account tab, and then you can select contact in that little line with support, and then you can.
But yeah, that's the whole reason there's no chat. Like if you open up chat, everyone's it's emote only, and everyone's just spamming shady.
On our social channels, I'm not gonna talk in particular.
So, you know,
social media platform, you can
that's why chat is like this.
The truth is, we will update you on.
It's because of day one.
As well from time to time. So. Thank you again for being with us that first week. Super awesome. I'm going to throw it back to Noah so she can explain where you can find us, not just the show, but, you know, Noah, myself, and some bonus guests as well that you haven't seen yet.
Yeah, so, okay, so we have our next show is gonna be on Monday. We have our pre-shows on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays at 5:40 Pacific. So make sure you catch those.
Pacific.
The pre-shows are super fun pre-shows. Then we
So
have
no pre-show or post-show until Monday.
New episode of Silent Hill Ascension.
But we still have new stuff to watch this weekend.
On Wednesdays,
still something.
Mondays, Wednesdays, and
still
Fridays,
something new every day.
after the main show. So stick around after the show because we might be interviewing your favorite person. You won't want to miss that. So yeah, thank you so much, Eduardo.
You're gonna interview Masahiro Ito?
To see you again. I really missed you when I was.
It's my favorite person.
No, actually, Stefan was great to have too, honestly. But I don't know. Y'all have to duel it out. But anyway, thank you, audience. We love you. Thank you so much for
Oh,
participating in this little experiment.
The
on
robots are
Silent
trying
Hill
to shut it
Ascension.
down.
We can't wait to see you. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Yay. Sorry, I'm experiencing some technical difficulties. Give me a moment. Okay. Switch chat to emote only to reflect Ascension? No. Not until I add the shady emote. Once I add the shady emote, then we might do some emote only streams. For now, we only have the trauma emote. Oh, the names broke. The broken bot names are back. I like how it's all these super recognizable, like classic Silent Hill characters, Sybil, Dahlia, Alessa, Cheryl, and then I keep seeing Gordon. It's Gordon. Is there a Gordon? Am I forgetting a Gordon? Kay Gordon. Oh my God, you're right. Alessa's teacher. Are they actually like referencing that? Wow. Am I going to play some games now? Oh, hell yeah. Look at this. There's new things in the Arcane Library. Yeah, look at that. We got Shapeshifter for Rachel's Hope. We got Guitar for Carl. Guitarl. Hang on. Carl's Hope is still going down, dude. They said they were going to manually fix it. So mindfulness is free now. You no longer have to spend $20 on a season pass for mindfulness puzzles. What an improvement. So now you don't have to spend any money to experience this. It doesn't matter the rhythm that you hit them in. It doesn't matter the order that you hit them in. It's literally just click the circle. Click the circle and ruin some of your favorite Silent Hill songs while you're trying to listen to them. That's the game. No way a dev made this? Somebody made this and tested this and said, this is okay. This is a game. This is fine. This is fun. Yeah, this is the gameplay. This is the gameplay. This is Silent Hill Ascension. I am interacting with Carl Johansson's Hope right now. I'm trying to play the shit out of this guitar so that Carl won't fucking kill himself or whatever. I am serious. Rhythm is not required. Just click. Just click. Click circle. You don't even have to be accurate. The pain? Dude, you think this hurts you? Do you think this is painful for you guys? Do you know what I used to do before I started streaming on Twitch? I was a studio musician in Austin, Texas. I play guitar, bass guitar, piano, harmonica, a bunch of random instruments. And I would work with bands and musicians in Austin. That's what I did before I started streaming full-time on Twitch. You think this shit hurts you? This shit hurts, man. It is painful. Also, I will also point out this as a musician and Silent Hill fan who knows how to play basically all of these songs that are available in the guitar mini game. A lot of the chords and things that they post are not correct. They're not the correct chords for how you're supposed to accurately play most of these songs. Two stars, baby. So we've affected Carl's hope. Now let's affect Rachel's hope. Let's put my music back on because there's no music outside of the guitar minigame. But let's play some Shapeshifter and get Rachel's hope up. Maybe a different song. Let's get something more fun to listen to. You ready for Shapeshifter? It's Californication. It's the edge of the world in all Hardcore softball. Groundbreaking gameplay. I'm out of moves, but we can spend points, we can spend money and get additional moves. No thank you. Sorry, Rachel. Fuck your hope. Hey, I got a weekly goal. This is DMCA, and aren't you uploading these to YouTube? Yeah, it's fine. You know what? Who cares? Who cares, man? All that means is I can't monetize the video. If you want to support me, you can support me in many other ways. I don't give a shit about YouTube ad revenue because it's not really much of anything anyway. So it's fine. I don't care. Didn't mean to kill the mood. It's fine. You didn't kill the mood. Ascension killed the mood. Could mean copy strikes? Nah. It won't be a copy strike. I might get chewed out. I've been chewed out before. I think that's it, guys. I think that's it for today. That's today's episode. So today's Friday. Tomorrow will be Saturday, and on Saturdays, I think those are going to be my story recap day. So everything from the week prior on Saturdays, I'll go through and we ignore all the shitty mini games. We ignore everything else. Saturdays, we're strictly going to rewatch and talk about the story and the characters. Because, I mean, we're basically ragging on all the other busted, stupid shit about this the rest of the week. So Saturdays are going to be the lore, the Ascension lore for catching up on the weekly episodes. So even if you don't want to be here every day for this kind of stuff, but you still want to keep up once in a while, Saturdays, I'll just do a recap of the story up to that point. And we'll do that every week until this either ends or the plug gets pulled. Because I'm not entirely sure the way things are going right now that Ascension will finish its full 6 to 8 month run. But we'll see. We'll see. Anyway, thank you all so very, very much for being here. Appreciate all the love and support. Again, if you don't already follow me on everything, just look for Nub Zombie. I'm just Nub Zombie on Twitter, Nub Zombie on YouTube. All of this is getting archived, of course, on YouTube if you want to catch up and don't like the Twitch VODs. And it'll be saved here on Twitch if you don't like YouTube, and vice versa. We've got a Discord channel that everyone is absolutely welcome to join. You don't have to be like a subscriber or anything like that. And there's a lot more information in the Discord. Basically, any info that I find out there from developer interviews and Twitter accounts and stuff like that. We've got a Silent Hill Ascension channel. I'm putting it all in there. If this is your first time here, and you don't know who I am, I'm Nub Zombie. I've been a Silent Hill fan since the very beginning in 1999 with the first game. I've grown up with the series. I've been obsessed with it since then. I've been streaming it full time and doing hyper in-depth lore playthroughs, speed runs, challenge runs, and just about everything you can imagine for every single thing in the franchise since 2015. So if you're curious about like the lore of the good Silent Hill games, I have like very, very long playthroughs. We're talking like 18, 20 hour playthroughs where I talk about absolutely everything in just one game. So not just the lore of like Silent Hill 2, for example, but the development history, and we go over interviews with the voice actors and the developers, and cover every last little bit of Silent Hill information that I possibly can. I try to be as thorough as possible, which is why I'm doing this with Ascension, because I do this for everything Silent Hill. I've done this for PT. I've done this for Book of Memories. I played through all 500 zones of Book of Memories. It took me several years to get through it, but I did it. So it's one of those things, like I just try to cover everything Silent Hill that I possibly can. So as said, I'm not worried about YouTube ad revenue. If you enjoy what I do and you want to support me, following and subscribing on YouTube, subscribing to Twitch, all greatly helps out. But yeah, thank you all so much. Again, I really appreciate all the love and support, and we will be back tomorrow. I'll be on every single day, 8 p.m. Eastern. And we're about to get a time change as well. Damn you, daylight savings. But either way, I'll be on about an hour before Ascension airs every single day. So we'll recap, we'll talk about stuff, watch the episode live, everything like that. So yeah, we'll see you guys tomorrow. Same time, same place. But till then, be good to each other. Much love and peace.